I think Brother Abi is coming on board. Yes, thank you.
So
Brother
good
Abi.
evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Daily Briefing. Sister Pauline, please let's just get through the housekeeping and then we'll get into it.
The housekeeping has already been done. The housekeeping has already been done, sir. So you can go straight into it. Thank you.
Are you there?
Yeah, yes, I can hear you, but Techno Pop 5. Can you please rename yourself? You've just put yourself on. Can you please rename yourself? Techno Pop 5. Can you please rename yourself? Yes, I can see you've actually just come on camera. Please rename yourself. If you're not too sure what to do, put your name in the chat and we will do it on your behalf. Thank you. Does anyone know who Technopop 5 is? No? Oh, excuse me a moment. Sorry, my phone's going off again now. Yeah, sorry about that. Technopop 5. Okay, he seems to have disappeared for now. Go, Brother MB, please go ahead.
Please, Sister Pauline, can you just do the housekeeping as we start?
Sorry about that, Brother MB. Yeah, because I'd already done it. Greetings once again. Just repeat myself, please. Yes, sir.
If you were, it's fine.
Yes, it's already done, sir. So it was just a case of you going straight in. Technopop 5, can you please ask Technopop 5 to rename himself? So we may have to put him in the waiting room because we don't know who he is. And we don't, you know. I mean,
your video is on. Technopop, your video is on. Please, can you just put your name in the chat and we'll change it for you.
Unmute yourself if you're not sure. Or if anyone knows who he is.
I can hear you. I can see you are trying to speak, but your mic is off. Your mic is off.
Hello.
Yeah, do you know who he is, Sister Pamela?
Yeah, it's one of my guys.
Yeah, what is his name? What is his name?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
Well, he's going to be. He will be put in. He will be put in the waiting room.
He's signed up already, so
he will be put in the waiting room, my sister, because you know this. We have the protocol. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, Technopop 5. Yes. What is your name, sir?
I'm called Joanne and I'm from Uganda.
What is your name? John. Can you repeat?
Joanne.
Joy.
Joanne. It's like Joel, but it doesn't have the L. It's Joen.
I'm Joanne. G-O-E-N. Joanne.
G-O-E-N. Is that correct?
It's a J for Julia, but he pronounced it G. Yeah.
Oh, so it's J. J-O-E-N.
That's it. Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Pamela.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Sorry about that, Brother MB. Go ahead. John, can you mute yourself now, please? Thank you.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining this edition of the Daily Briefing. I have missed the interactions over the last few days because of the power issues that we are facing here in South Africa. But I get the chance to listen and watch the recordings, and very, very interesting discussions and conversations that have been going on. Thank you all for the work that you are doing in different parts, different countries around the world. And this journey has just begun. You know, some people will be thinking that, oh, it's taken place, it's been for the last for the last 2.5 going to 3 years. It's a lot of time. This is just the beginning. We are literally at the beginning of a lot more that we need to do for ourselves and for our communities. I want to thank the the global leadership team for the work that you guys have been putting in as well at a global level and looking at the bigger picture of everything that's happening and making sure that things keep moving forward in the best way possible. Today, we've thought of, Dr. Linus should join possibly from his phone. I think he's here. I think he's here from his phone. Are you connected on your phone? Yeah, I can see he's connected from his phone. So that's good. We tried another trick with a desktop, but it wasn't working. So that's why Dr. Linus possibly has joined from his phone. You are on mute. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, all. Good evening, and welcome to today's session. Thank you very much for taking the time. As we always say, it is this individual sacrifices that we all make that would create the collective impact that would reach millions of people and make a resounding difference to millions of lives. And as Brother B said, if you think we have been at it for a long time, the journey really is just beginning to take off. So there is a lot of interesting movements and all around us, and the level of mobilization is now shifting to a different gear with the engagement of kingdoms, municipalities, local authorities, and all that. So it is a very exciting time ahead of us. A very, very exciting time indeed, and rightly so, because they say, as you make your bed, so shall you lie on it. And so by working together and creating the kind of ecosystem that is inclusive and allows people to actually exchange value in real time, no matter where they are, that's a first. And we would all be there to reap the benefits and use it as an instrument for shaping our economic participation in the new economy. Even if it's just between us, that would be amazing. It would be completely amazing. And we would have achieved a monumental task that has gone, or we would have achieved a monumental solution that really hasn't been sought for many, 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 many years. And in the course of that, reach and touch millions of lives. So thank you very much. And let's all keep on going. Let's keep marching forward. Let's keep doing whatever we're doing, where we are, educating others. Not everybody will come on board at the first stop, but usually when the train turns up, you have some people who enter the train and go with it. Others would say, well, I'm not rushed. I would wait for the next train. And if that is the case, the train is on the move. It has multiple carriages, multiple stops for people to get on at their convenience. But we are moving, making great progress. So on that note, welcome to today's session. So over to you again, Brother Mbi. Thank you very much. And before I go, I have to say, Sister Pauline,
yes,
and
sir.
Brother Patrick, what a fantastic job yesterday. I mean, that was brilliant.
I was hoping you wasn't going to bring that up.
That was absolutely brilliant. Even though I had to rush because I was doing another meeting, I was still connected, and my ear was still very much focused on what was going on, even though I couldn't physically participate or respond to any questions. But you and Brother Patrick did a brilliant job, and it's got us really thinking. It's got us really, really thinking hard. That in subsequent sessions, what we'll do is bring our leadership team in, and we would just be taking the questions and directing them to the right person who might be able to answer it within our leadership team. So that in due time, we probably don't have to be necessarily always present. for this to have the kind of effect that it must have. And it is really that kind of empowerment that I think should be part and parcel of what we do. And the same goes with members who come and participate in these sessions. It is about empowering them to have the confidence, the knowledge, to go wherever they are in the world, in their community, to impart the same knowledge and understanding upon others, so that we can begin to grow that family and grow it to the point where we can touch every household and touch millions of lives. So thank you. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant job. Well done. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Linus. I'm sure Patrick will have something to say, Brother Patrick will have something to say when he comes on. But I was hoping you would not bring it up. But thank you.
I could not have. It couldn't have gone unnoticed.
Yeah, we noticed that you were still there. We said, "Oh my God, Dr. Linus is still here. Oh my God, he heard everything that we did. Oh my God." So, but thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Brother Patrick is actually here. Brother Patrick can hear all what you guys are talking about.
I'm here. Actually, as for yesterday, the shine belongs to Sister Pauline. Me, I didn't say much. I was just supporting, and she did a brilliant job, as Dr. Linus says. I was the first to recommend her. She did a brilliant job. Thank you.
Hey, this reward is not mine alone, Brother Patrick. Without you by my side, we are a team. There is no I in team. Yeah, so it is as it is, you know? So thank you.
Thank you.
Great. So today we really wanted to keep it as simple as possible, but also focusing on the fact that we are moving to another gear towards the empowerment of the agent. I think Callum.
Yes, it's
Callum doesn't know.
It's sorted. It's sorted, sir. Yeah, it's sorted.
So as we're just talking about it now. This journey is literally just starting. We've not even gone one notch up to the extent that we can start reaching people in our communities in the way in which we would like to achieve. So what we are, we have shared this before, we've showed it before, but just an example is Peter Mutuku in the room. Yeah, I can see him. Good evening, Peter.
Good evening, everybody.
How are you? How is Uganda today?
Uganda is well. We're just having rains around Kampala city.
Oh, okay. So, what we want to share this evening is related to the process that we have put in place for the mailbox acquisition and distribution across the entire network worldwide. What does it look like? So an example is what Peter has done for the people that he wants to help to set up. I see Sister Paula.
Yeah, you should know Sister Pamela by now. You should know Sister Pamela by now.
Pamela, I see your comment and it distracted me. But anyway, it's good. So what I was saying is that Peter has followed one of the principles that we spoke about last week, which was the fact that the way the mailbox is going to be distributed is going to be done via an Excel sheet, which we showed to everyone in the community. How that is going to work is that the Excel sheet is going to be available for all the country leaders, agents who are on the ground, who are listed agents. The way, agents are not just going to be anyone in the community. You need to be a listed agent. And a listed agent, we would show you guys where, if you need to check if someone is a listed agent, where you should go on the portal to check as a community member. You are able to go there, put their name, and you'll be able to see who is a listed agent. And each listed agent would receive this Excel. And for us to be efficient and effective, each of the listed agents would need to say, for this week, week 1 of March, I want to activate 10 emails. These are the names of the people, their first name, their second name, their SWIFIN ID. Yeah. With that, if it's people who do not have an account, then their first name, second name will do. I don't know, Peter, the list you shared, I don't know if you don't mind. I just want to show everyone what has happened. How
Yeah,
you
sure.
you got the list. You don't mind,
Yeah,
right?
sure. Go ahead. You have my permission.
Okay. So I'm going to share it. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
So you can see the person who placed the order. This is the order number, and this is their agent ID. Okay, and the total number of requests was 30, which means is, the bundle that, the total number of email addresses that he was requesting was 30. And then he listed the names. He put the names on the list. You can see it's 30. And as soon as he finished, we pick it up on our side and we start creating the email addresses. The email addresses start getting created. Yeah. So every agent will get an agent number, would get, their order number, which would be auto-generated, and then they would need to input the total number of email addresses that they are ordering. And then they'll put the names in the list. Yeah. It's as simple as that. And then we will take up the rest from there. Okay. So I don't want to keep the list up here for much longer. I'm just going to stop because we get sanctioned.
Brother B, if you can keep the list up a little, there is an important comment that we need to add and explain.
All right.
Is Sister Lumba in the room?
No, she's not, but I can go through it with you.
You can go through it.
Yeah.
So Sister Pauline, you notice there is a new column there under column D, which says date of birth.
Yes, please.
Can you please explain the significance of that and how we're going to use that information?
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, the reason why we requested a date of birth, because we have a number of our end users or clients that have very, very common names, like, for instance, Ahmed, Babuka, and things like that, or even John Smith, Michael Brown, very common names. So what we've tried to brainstorm how we're going to counteract this. So we could have Babuka 1, Babuka 2, but we'll have to go right up to 100 before we can find an availability for a Babuka. So we've come up with a solution that will put the date of birth in, because it's very rare we're going to get a Babuka born on the same day and in the same month and in the same year. You may get a Babuka that's born, 2 of them or 3 of them, that's born on the 26th of March. But it's very, very unlikely that they're all going to be born within the same year. So those persons with very common names, yeah, like the Ahmeds, Abrahams, Babakas, and so forth, yeah. We've decided that we're going to use your date of birth within your email address, because we know that that's something that you won't forget, and it's easily remembered. So we had to try and come up with something that was going to be unique to you and that you would not forget. So you know that if you're a Babaka, you're going to be Babaka 16th of the 1st, 1963 .Babaka. Or we may decide to put it at the end, Babaka 26th of the 3rd, 1963 or 63. So we know that that's unique to you. So that way it enables us to identify and not have to go through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 system to get to an available number. So that's why that's there. So going forward, when you do take details, if you do buy a bulk box, it's a first name, last name, SWIFIN number, because then we can update their account straight away, and their date of birth, irrespective of the fact that they may be the only one. But if we get in the routine of using it, then it becomes second nature. It becomes an automatic thing that you won't have to think about. But it was something that we came up quite a lot with when we were creating the emails of these double names, and many people having the same name. So that's basically why it's now there. So going forward, please, SWIFIN account, if there is one. If there isn't one, it's not a problem. But SWIFIN account, if there is, then their account could be updated straight away. Their first name, their last name, and their date of birth, and automatically it will be populated in part of the email address, as well as maybe part of the password. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But the date of birth has become rather significant. Thank you.
Okay, and just one last comment. As the team that is processing and creating these mailboxes, because each of these, as Sister Pauline explained, needs to be unique to you, it is an important identifier. And that's why you can come back to the team if you have any problem, then they can obviously help you to re-access that mailbox. So once this goes to the processing team, they will simply, once the mailbox is created and ready to use with that username and that password, they will simply mark it here done. So when the agent that is dealing with this sees this, when it says done, and it will be live, okay? Now I'm going to, I know that this one is not there. So Brother B is the one who is sharing his screen, but let's say I was dealing with that particular one and it's done, or Sister Pauline was dealing with this one and it's done. She only just has to mark it done. And it's a live spreadsheet, and the agent would be able to come into that spreadsheet at any time and see that, oh, no, it's been completed. So these mailboxes are now ready. So this is a very efficient way of not actually even relying on sending messages to people, but the agent can now communicate with the members and tell them that, oh, your mailbox is ready. Okay?
Yeah. So that is those are some of the parameters that we are considering, and for that reason, the SWIFIN ID, it's very important, because for those who have the SWIFIN ID, it would help us as soon as the email address is created, we go and update the account of the member. Okay, so it's very important. It's an important component. So for those who already have an ID, it's always necessary to have it, and then their date of birth. So this sheet, we will be releasing it to the people who have been identified and who have qualified as agents in the different markets around the world. And from a global management perspective, all we are looking at is where is the list coming from, who is sending the list, and how many boxes do they need. You know, it could come in the format where for a specific country, the list is consolidated at a national level, and every week we get one request. from that country. Yeah. Those are some of the things that we will keep improving the methods and the models as we go. But for the time being, this is what we are going to use to help get as many people as possible to get their their SWIFIN mailbox set up as soon as possible. Okay.
Now,
I'm going to stop.
Yes, Brother B, is it worth now mentioning, perhaps just very briefly, I know we should have another session on this, about the activation of the local currency account within account, where we have a local financial institution that we are working with, so we can activate that. It's important because, yeah.
Can we
Absolutely.
please,
So
can we please start sharing Peter's screen if we're finished with it, please?
Yeah, that's
Thank
fine.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm stopping. Yeah, so that's a very, very important point because it's part of where this journey is going. Remember, when we, from around June last year, we've been sharing with everyone that the Lumi is an independent currency like any other currency around the world. Okay? And we need to get to a place where we gently start looking for ways in which we can interact on the platform across currencies. For that reason, in countries where we have financial institutions that can carry the local currency of that country, we partner with those financial institutions and we give members in those countries the ability to trade in the Lumi as one currency and to trade in their local currency as another currency. And within the local market, for you to have access to the local currency, to use your local currency on this platform, we need the permission of the financial institution that's a partner in the local market. The financial institution actually sets the conditions for you to have the local account for the country. We are just about done with one of the countries that we would start getting, displaying. In fact, I already can share that it's Senegal. And the process has been set quite comprehensively and complete. What does it take to have a Lumi account? You do not need to pay anything to have a Lumi account. But if you want a local bank account with the local bank partner, the local bank partner has set a fee for their account, which is normal for bank accounts in most countries, right? And then the local bank partner is also making available a certain number, some products that as a member in Senegal, you are able to access. For example, you can make a deposit using your mobile money, and then the value is updated on your account, on your SWIFIN account. And then if you want to do a withdrawal, same thing. The value is sent into your mobile money number. You make a request and the value is sent into your mobile money number. In the same way as you are making a request to move your Lumi from account into Transact. You make a request, we validate the request, we make sure that it's the right account, is the right person, and the transfer is made. Yeah? Dr. Linus, is there anything else that we need to talk about on this? So over the next few weeks, we will be opening this local currencies because we already have the partners in a number of countries. We'll start opening them up. And when we open a new country, we will share it with everyone. Dr. Linus?
Yes, that's right. When we open, we would share it, and the local institution will actually come and present.
They'll come and
of course, because of the way that financial services are generally regulated, and we want to create an ecosystem that delivers the kind of unprecedented access that we haven't seen before. It just means that if it is Senegal, for example, the currency that is used in Senegal is the West African franc CFA, the ZAF, right? Brother B? Hello? Can you
I
can you,
went,
can you, can you all
I
hear
went
me?
on mute. I went on
Yeah.
mute, sorry.
So it
It's
is
the
the
ZAF.
ZAF.
It's the
What
ZAF.
that means is that only people who are in Senegal who feel that they would be able to use the ZAF or want to use the ZAF would have access to that account. Now, it also means that if you are outside of Senegal and you do business in Senegal and wants to have that ZAF account, then you would also qualify to have it. So that, you know, if you are in South Africa and you are Senegalese and you want to be able to do your transactions in ZAF, then you can also apply to have that account activated for you, which will enable you to do that. But remember, the ZAF would only really be useful in Senegal. You couldn't use it to pay for anything in South Africa. Even members of the community in South Africa might not accept it. We may not even open up the possibility of you to, we may open up the possibility for you to buy Lumi with it at some point in the near future. But other than that, it has limited and restricted use that is relevant to a particular country. Whereas what we want to try and change as a community is to use or rely on a single instrument of exchanging value that works in Senegal, works in South Africa, works in Nigeria, works in Malawi, and works across all the 54 countries within continental Africa. So when you start thinking like that, then you realize what a major endeavor we've embarked on. And you know, the tools are there for us to deliver that. And that's why Transact, which is designed to do just that. Transact is so focused. I mean, it's so razor sharp focused on just giving you the local currency experience with your Lumi, that today it's probably one of the
Sorry,
the
Dr.
only
Linus.
leading.
Sorry, Dr. Linus. Sorry to disturb you. Can you please not share your screen? Musa Malaku's screen, can you please stop sharing your screen? Brother Ambi, can you remove him, please? Sorry, Dr. Linus, to stop you in your flow.
That's okay. Thank you.
Brother Ambi, can you remove this Mr. Musa Maliku's screen, please? They're sharing their screen. Thank you. Sorry, Dr. Linus, continue.
That's all right. I had actually finished. So that's why Brother Ambi mentions that, you know, the journey is just beginning, because whereas we have put in place Transact, which delivers an instant local currency experience across all the countries, we cannot ignore the existence of local currencies in the respective countries where we have members. And that's why we want to create a pocket, or in fact, the system, the infrastructure is already there. And all we need to do is go into the respective countries now, identify a local institution, and then activate that service. But it is already there. I'm sure many of you, if you log into your account, you will see either AKL or GBX and some other currency. There would be 3 default currencies. If you are in Nigeria, you might see NGN, but it's sitting there. It's at the moment not active. But once we identify a local financial institution that is able to handle that NGN component, then we will activate it, and you can suddenly start using it by going to that local institution and depositing your money, which will then be reflected in your account within account, in your local currency account within account. Okay, so that's it. So stay tuned and keep your eyes and ears open for that.
Yeah. So already we have completed Senegal. We should probably have it available to the members from tomorrow, latest Friday. Nigeria is just about ready. We need to have a meeting with the leaders in Nigeria just to finalize some parameters. And that meeting, we are hoping that we would have it also before this week runs out. And then we are saying to every member in the community, on the continent, across the diaspora, if you know of a financial institution that has a license for deposit taking, let us know if they are ready for us to bring in our solution and give the members in that country the possibility to transact using the platform, in the local currency. Let us know so that we can engage with them. So Nigeria is just about ready. Cameroon is ready. We just need to also, as Dr. Linus said, open it up. Yeah, and we'll keep opening them up. In fact, just for those who do not know, there are a number of countries that already opened for this, and we closed it when we had to reset the system. And now we are going back now to that place where we would have this interaction and make it very much available to all the members across the community in countries where we have partner microfinance institutions. I want to take this opportunity to thank the leaders in Senegal. I think Moro is here, Tierno. Yeah, he's here. I want to take this opportunity to thank them because they have worked tirelessly to make sure that this happens. And it's constant engagement that has seen this to the place where we are right now. So thank you so much, Tierno, for all the work you guys are doing on the ground, and the leadership team in Senegal. We are looking forward to doing the same across countries on the continent. Yeah, Dr. Linus, anything else on that?
No, that's it. I think you've covered everything. Thank you.
All right. So
unless Tierno wants to add something.
Moro, vous êtes là?
Oui, je suis là.
Ah, bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Ah, vous avez suivi ce qu'on disait là?
Oui, j'ai un peu suivi, hein, mais pas au fond. Hein.
Non, juste pour... on était en train d'expliquer comment les choses sont passées au Sénégal et que nous sommes maintenant au point d'ouvrir le service avec le partenaire de l'institution financière au Sénégal et la possibilité aux membres du Sénégal d'utiliser leur franc CFA et d'avoir les comptes par lesquels ils peuvent faire des transactions régulières comme ils veulent le faire au Sénégal. Donc, c'était justement ça. Et juste pour expliquer que l'idée, c'est d'ouvrir tout ça pour tous les autres pays du continent et de la diaspora.
D'accord. Merci beaucoup.
Non, merci pour vous. Merci pour tout le travail que vous avez fait.
Merci. On est ensemble.
Oui. D'accord. Okay. So those are the two things that we really wanted to share this evening. And we are quite busy. In fact, I said Nigeria is almost ready. There's also Zimbabwe that's almost ready. So for our fellow Zimbabweans, also know that there's some extensive work that has already been done. We just a few little bits and pieces, and Zimbabwe also will be open. Okay. South Africa also close. I can see someone asking. South Africa also very, very, very mightily close. We have institutional partners, financial institutions that are keen. We are busy working and putting the parameters in place. As soon as we complete them, you guys will be the first to know. Okay. So thank you all very much. I think the next thing now would be for us just to take a few questions before we wrap up, because we are meant to end just at the top of the hour, which is in the next 10 minutes. So we'll take 10 minutes to take a few questions, and then we would wrap up from there.
Okay.
I think the first person.
Sorry to interlude on you, Brother Ambi. We did have some people from
That's
yesterday
fine.
that we were not able to get to. So if we could
Exactly.
get to those first, which the first one is Brother Gilbert.
Bonsoir Gilbert.
Bonsoir.
Comment vous allez?
Attends, ça va bien, et vous?
Très bien. Vous pouvez parler en Kiswahili. Is there any, Sister Emma, are you here?
We have, Brother Ambi, we now have two. Yeah, we have we have Sister Emma and we have Brother Peter, who can both speak Swahili.
Oh, yeah. Oui, il faut parler en Kiswahili. You know, we are very, very diverse people, and we take pride in our languages.
Well, we now have two, so you can call on Sister Emma first if she's available, or Brother Peter.
Allez-y.
Ok. Emma, il est là.
Non, il y a les gens. Il y a le Peter aussi.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Swali ya kwanza.
Yes.
Swali ya kwanza ni kuhusu hii registrement tuko tunafanya watu wa sasa, kwa sababu unajua ufanye AKL to transact binaomba kama ukuwe omwe miezi 7 umeshapata, kwa sababu hii project itaishi mwezi wa 10. Itaishi mwezi wa 10. Sasa mwenye ajaeneza kama 13 za AKL atafanya transact AKL aje? Hiyo ndio swali ya kwanza. Nipane niulize ya pili kwanza.
Burudia, jasikiza vizuri.
Swali ni hivi. Kwa hii muda kuwaregistre watu biko vinaendelea. Sasa kama mtu atakuwa aregistre mwezi wa 7 au wa 5, ataweza aye kufanya AKL tu transact tena aziaenea 13. Wajua ufanye transfer AKL tu transact ni unakuwa uko na franga zinapita 25.
Okay. Brother B. Brother B.
Yes. Go ahead, sister. Okay, looks like Sister Emma's
about the registration is going. How about the registration? The question is, how about those people who will be registered on July, June, August? How will they transfer their AKL to transact, yet their AKL will be less than 25?
So that's from people who got registered from last year, July.
No. This year, July, August, because October will be the last month to be for registration. This 2023.
No. So there's registration is not going to stop. That's the first thing. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
Second thing is that the AKL that everyone would have in their account at that time.
Yes.
If the stimulus program comes to an end, a decision will be made on how to either leave, because the idea is not that you can only use transact with your AKL. You can also use your account to transact with AKL. You don't have to move it to transact for you to be able to carry out on activities with it or to pay people and all of that. You also can pay from account, right? So by that time, a decision will be made on whether, for people who want to transfer who have less than the required amount to transfer from account to transact.
Gilbert, umeelewa ama nirudie?
Tarudia ndani.
Wanasema registration itaendelea, lakini wale watu wenye watakuwa wameregister kwa hizo miezi haitakuwa lazima waeke pesa zao kwa transact. Wanaweza tumia hata account kufanya transaction.
Hiyo nasikia. Swali ya pili ni kwa kuhusu email box. Mimi kwa hii muda kwenye Burundi niko na watu wanahitaji email box. Nimeshafanya uhitaji nipate email box. Kama niko na watu 10 kwa hii muda biko tayari kuuza hizo email box. Tumeshaongea nao, wanipatia ID zao, majina. Sasa mimi nimejitahidi kufanya niuze, nikapitia kwenye, sasa nikaenda kujaza ile namba ya kadi ya banki, nakataa kadi. Basi sio kadi nimetia ni yangu. Niyo. Si hiyo tatizo ya
Gilbert, I'm not getting you. The problem is on your Gilbert. Shida ni banka email box.
Yeah.
Swali ni kwa email box ama kwa card, bank card?
Email box mimi nikiuza, nikitumia wananionyesha kwenye tajaza vitu yote, najaza, nikishajaza sasa pale natia namba za kadi, natia namba za kadi pale pa kutia password ya kadi. Nikitia password ya kadi wanasema hiyo password ya kadi sio hiyo tena, na mimi najua ni hiyo kadi yangu, naenda ku bank na nachukua hela, lakini kijaza pala ipite sijui.
Radhambi is talking about a mailbox. He has a list of those people who want to pay for mailbox, but the problem is when he goes to the bank card, the password of the bank card deny. Now he wants the help from there.
Okay, so the bank card, he sent me a picture of the bank card. I am not sure if that card would be able to work on the payment system because it's not a Visa and it's not a MasterCard. It's not even an American Express. I have a suspicion that it's a local payment card. What needs to happen is that we need to find a way to resolve the payment situation for Burundi. And we are still trying to figure out what we would do to resolve the situation in Burundi, unless or except there is someone in Burundi who has a rechargeable card, a card that can take funds that they can make a deposit in that person's card and then use the card to pay, which is a Visa or a MasterCard. Okay, so I think that is what we'll do for now. I think that we need to work with Gilbert and during the day, not during the daily briefing, to come up with a solution for his group in Burundi on the mailbox issues. I had already promised Gilbert that would have a Burundi session for all the agents. So tell him that I am going. So I think what is going to happen is that I will speak to him tomorrow so that we can set the time for the meeting, and then we'll come up with some agreements when we sit in that meeting. Okay.
Gilbert,
In the meantime, Brother Mbi, those in Burundi who want to buy the individual can pay completely with AKL. They just need to go online and place the order with AKL, and they can pay completely with AKL, and that will be processed.
Yeah,
Our team is very efficient now in doing that, in processing those orders that are being paid in AKL. I mean, last week we had a backlog, and that backlog has been eaten through. I mean, they are so efficient. It's amazing.
yeah. So, Sister Emma, please, or maybe should I speak in French, or you speak in Kiswahili?
yes, please speak in French.
Ok, donc le frère Gilbert, nous avons convenu que nous devons avoir une séance de travail avec votre équipe, l'équipe qui est sur la liste que vous avez partagée avec nous. Nous allons, je vais vous appeler au courant de la journée de demain pour qu'on fixe l'heure, le jour et l'heure pour cette réunion. OK? Et pendant cette séance de travail, nous allons déterminer ce qu'on va faire concernant le paiement et la carte et toutes ces difficultés que vous avez sur place au Burundi. OK? Entre-temps, pour ceux qui veulent acheter leur mailbox individuelle, ils peuvent le faire directement. Ils entrent, ils achètent leur mailbox avec AKL. OK? Mais, comme vous le savez, le coût pour un mailbox est tellement élevé. Et l'idée, c'est quoi? L'idée pour nous, c'est que il faut que la communauté s'engage avec les agents qui sont sur le terrain. Okay? C'est ça l'idée. Mais je vais vous appeler au courant de la journée de demain. Comme ça, on va convenir l'heure et la date pour notre séance de travail. OK?
OK, merci.
On doit prendre les autres.
OK, on peut attendre les jours pour résoudre ça. Parce que c'est très difficile. Quelqu'un, on achète une série.
Oui, c'est très difficile. Je vous appelle demain et on va déterminer le jour et l'heure. Et ça doit être ces jours-ci. Ça ne doit pas prendre longtemps.
OK, merci beaucoup, merci.
Ouais, je vous en prie. Sister Pauline, is there someone else from yesterday?
Yes, we've got 3 more from yesterday.
Okay.
We've got a Christina. I'm not quite sure if she's on. I will check for you. I checked just now and I didn't see her name, so I'm presuming she's not here today. No.
The next one?
We've got Sister Pamela.
Sister Pamela, are you there?
Yeah, she's here, but do you still want to ask your question?
No, I'll pass until another day. It's so busy, so let them go. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it. That's it, Brother Ambi. So if you want to take any more from today,
okay. Then we'll take Jude because his hand has been up for a long time. Go ahead, Jude.
Nanan Jude.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
Okay. Thank you so much for the work that you are doing to enhance this work in progress. My question is about those accounts that are now reflecting on our Connect. I have wanted to ask, but you have just explained, but I'm having a little question again about it. So you say when you activate those accounts, we'll be going to our financial institution to be making a deposit into our SWIFIN account. So will we be able to, like me, I have some AKX as they are now reflecting on my Connect account. I saw some balance of my AKX there. So if you have activated those accounts like NGN now, I'm in Nigeria, would I be able to change that my AKX into this NGN money?
So that's something that I was trying to clarify in the statement we made earlier. NGN is NGN. AKL is AKL. Those are 2 independent currencies. At the moment, you cannot take AKL and convert it into NGN. But you can use NGN for someone who doesn't have AKL to buy AKL. Okay? So what we are saying is that with the financial institutions, the only currency that the financial institutions work with is the local currency of the country. You are in Nigeria. When we will announce the financial institutions that we are working with, you would only be able to transact with them with that local currency until we get to the point where the AKL is being used in those institutions. But for the time being, it's going to be only Naira in Nigeria. Okay? And then AKL on the platform and doing our transactions on the system as is. The idea what we are going to do subsequently is that you would have the NGN on your account on the platform. You will be able to use that NGN to pay for some services in the local market, Naira. If someone is asking you to pay what? To pay for water or a cold drink or something, you will be able to use your NGN on the platform to pay for it. But it will be done in collaboration with a local financial institution. I hope that it's clear now.
Yes, it's clear.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the ways that we have explained this before, Nanen, is that if I go to a restaurant, I'm going to buy food. So we encourage people to onboard restaurants. Sister Emma is an example. If you go to her restaurant now in Kenya, you can pay for your food in AKL. Now, when you go to a financial institution in Nigeria, you can buy Nigerian Naira. So once we onboard the financial institution at some point might then decide, now, okay, I can sell you Nigerian Naira, but I will take your Lumi. So you can give your Lumi to them and they can sell you Nigerian Naira. That's how you achieve conversion via your local institution. Your local institution is going to be sitting there as a community service provider that is selling you currency in your local currency. In the case of Nigeria, that could be Nigerian Naira. That's one way to look at it. When we onboard a restaurant is going to be selling you food. When we onboard a barber, the barber is going to be selling you a haircut. Now, if the barber decides that they accept AKL, then when you pay them AKL, they give you a haircut. The restaurant that accepts AKL, when you go there, they give you food, you give them a haircut. A financial institution that accepts AKL, when you give them AKL, they can give you the local currency. That's the idea. But we need to do this in a step-by-step fashion. Just like we have to onboard the restaurant first, before they can start giving you food and allowing you to pay in AKL, we need to onboard the local financial institutions first. But those local financial institutions, when they come on board, the first thing we want them to start doing is to process what they are used to processing, i.e. their local currency. Okay, at some point, they will see the number of customers that we have in the community, and that's why the power of numbers is very important. And then they will see the amount of Lumi that is floating around, and they will say, but I need to participate in this, because when I do, I now have customers that when I buy Lumi from them and give them Nigerian Naira, somebody else will come and give me Nigerian Naira who wants Lumi, so I can sell them the Lumi back. Remember, no financial institution will keep any currency for the sake of it. They never do. They only keep it because it belongs to somebody else, i.e. it belongs to the customer. The customer has given it to them to keep for them. Or they will buy a local, a foreign currency because they know that their customers will come and buy it from them. Their customers need it. So they are effectively buying and selling the currency. So no bank in Nigeria holds US dollars just because they enjoy holding US dollars. No, they hold it because they know that some people in Nigeria who want US dollars will come and give them Nigerian naira and ask for US dollars in return. Just like you can go to a local restaurant and pay your Nigerian naira and ask for a plate of food. Okay? So until as a community, we organize ourselves and demonstrate to all the financial institutions where we are that we have masses of people that are using AKL and that are looking to buy AKL and willing to sell their AKL in exchange for local fiat, that's when you will get the financial institutions interested. We can talk to them all day long. What will drive their actions is the number of users demanding the service. They will see the opportunity and they will come in and say, yeah, we can make a profit here by buying and selling Lumi against Nigerian naira, buying and selling Lumi against South African rand. We will make a profit. That's what financial institutions do. Now, if anyone tells you that they will just go and buy South African rand and hold it for the sake of it, no, it doesn't work like that. They will only buy it if they know they will sell it to somebody else and make a profit.
Yeah. So
Very clear.
I hope that is clear. So the bottom line, my dear brothers and sisters, is that the reason we are doing this is that there's a saying in Nigeria that if the dog does not want to wag its tail, the tail will wag the dog. So we are forcing the agenda by opening up this space, and that's why we are insisting, let's keep registering more people, let's keep expanding the community, because the more people we have, the more pressure we would put on the local financial institutions in the countries, because financial institutions, their stock in trade is currencies. Their stock in trade is currencies, is money. They buy money, they sell money. They take your money, they sell to someone, and then they make a bit of profit, and then they take someone else's money, they sell to you, and that is what financial institutions do. So what we are doing by this process is that we are saying, this is what you are familiar with. Yeah, no problem. These are, we have some people who are going to work with you on this. But as time goes on, they will realize that there's a bigger number that are holding AKL and holding the Lumi, and they would want to be participants in that space because that is their business. Okay, so thank you guys so much on that. I think that we have explained all of this so that it helps everyone else in the in the community. I think we'll take one more call because we've really overshot our time. The next person is Vernon.
Brother B, just before we take the last question, I'd also like to add that if you really think in terms of how things work, I mean, we have all heard here multiple times that people are struggling to use a card in Nigeria to make a payment outside of Nigeria. Now, you need to take Nigeria and multiply by 54 because, there are 54 countries within Africa, and there are many other countries that have the same problem. Brother B made reference to the card that one of our members was trying to use, and he used the statement that it's a local card. Now, when you have a local card from your bank, the chances are it is just as good as the local currency in that country. You cannot use it outside that country. So the moment you want to buy something from another country, it would not work because they're not designed to settle those types of transactions. Now, you really need to look at that. And then you look at transact and see that in transact, if you are in South Africa, you just press South African rand, you enter your values, you do your payment. You can do that for people in South Africa who are members of this community. But if you want to now transact with somebody in Nigeria, while you are still in South Africa, you press Nigerian Naira, you do your transaction, the person in Nigeria gets it in real time. Now, that is so super powerful that it is probably already financial institutions are looking at it and thinking, what?
How did you do that?
So
we sit in the meeting and we hear it.
Yeah. So that's what we are doing. What we are doing is so powerful. Make no mistakes. It is simple. It is meant for the poor people. Yes, for those who have been excluded for a long time, because we have to solve that problem of exclusion and the use of a common instrument of exchanging value. But the way that we are going about it, it is so super, the future is here kind of thing, that is what is going to make the world wake up and realize that, oh, this is serious. There isn't an equivalent system around right now where you can click a button and do a transaction with somebody in real time anywhere in the world. And so that's what we are dealing with. And we just have to now really get out there and get the masses on, get the populations going, get the citizens of every country on. And you will be part of creating a change that will be here to stay, change that will shape the way people transact in the future. Just watch the space. I just thought I'd add that point, Brother B.
Absolutely. Brother Vernon, you have the floor.
Greetings, everyone. It's always my pleasure to be here. From the time I raised my hand, I've sort of got some more clarity to my question, but I'm still gonna ask it. All right, from the presentation that is made, are we to understand that there are banking institutions in Nigeria, Zimbabwe, and South Africa that will be trading in Lumi soon, very soon? And another question is, are there any institution in Jamaica that will be willing to do that also very soon?
So I will take the last part of the question because that's the part I heard. The part I heard, the first part I didn't really hear clearly, but as I said already, we are looking right across the board, right across the continent and in the diaspora, in Jamaica, in Brazil, everywhere, for financial institutions with whom we can execute the same thing that we have just been explaining. So if there's anyone in Jamaica who knows a financial institution with whom we can work, please let us know. We would be ready to engage with them and bring them on board.
Okay, thank you.
Did anyone get the first part of Brother Vernon's question?
I heard
Yeah,
I heard the first part. I heard the first part, Brother B.
Okay.
The first part, just so I can recap, and Brother Venom, correct me if the recap is correct. Is that, are we saying that in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, in Nigeria, and Senegal, that we now have financial institutions that can trade in the Lumi? The unequivocal answer is no. That's not what we are saying. But before I provide any further clarification, is that what you asked?
No, not now. Soon, very soon. Like
very soon. Okay. This is what we are saying.
Yes.
That before Sister Emma started selling her food in exchange for Lumi, she had to be onboarded into the platform where she could have exposure to receive Lumi. And then she said, oh, I will sell you my food in Lumi. But of course, all along, she was selling her food in Kenyan shillings. And what we are saying is that within the platform, if we had a financial institution in Kenya, we could activate Kenyan shillings on the platform at the click of a few buttons, so that you can now go to your local financial institution and you could deposit your money there. And that money, the amount that you deposit, will be reflected in your Kenyan shilling account on the SWIFIN account. And then you can go to the restaurant again and say, well, I want to pay in Kenyan shillings, and then you use your account and still pay. If Sister Emma wants to accept Lumi, then you can just still use your Lumi and pay, or you're going to transact and pay. Okay. But the key thing is that we need to do that in progression, in steps. First, we need to introduce the financial institutions into the ecosystem where the Lumi is one of the instruments. Now, remember, once you come on board, you automatically have a Lumi account. So what it means is that the financial institutions will already then have a Lumi account once we onboard them. Now, they will be receiving stimulus like everyone else. Now, at some point, they will decide what to do with it. They can throw it away, or they can say, but what is this thing? You know, maybe we should start trading in it.
Okay.
Right? But that is not what is going to push them. The fact that they have a few Lumi in their account is not what is going to push them. What is going to push them is, if we open up today that people should come and buy Lumi from us as a financial institution, are we going to make money? Because remember, like Sister Emma sells food in her restaurant, the financial institutions will sell currencies. That's what they do. And they can only sell it if they will make a profit. That's what we were explaining. So, but for us to educate them to be part of this, we need to onboard them. And we're starting the process of onboarding them using an instrument that they are familiar with, i.e. their local currency in which they are regulated. And then the next step is, oh, now there is Lumi, and there are so many different customers who are asking every day about Lumi. Maybe I should start selling it. Maybe I will make a profit. That's what is going to drive them. It's not us telling them to do it. It's not government telling them to do it. Nothing else will convince a financial institution to start exchanging Lumi, but the fact that they will make profit doing it. Once they realize that they will make profit doing it, then they will be the ones going after their regulators and saying, but all our citizens, you know, in the case of Nigeria, 200 million people have Lumi and they're using it every day. If you don't allow us to trade in it, we will be out of business. So the pressure should come from them to actually start trading and buying the Lumi. For now, all we have to do as a community is concentrate on our Lumi and concentrate on using it, concentrate on everybody being part of the ecosystem and having it. So that in due time, the financial institutions will have to wake up and say, but we can't ignore this thing anymore because now everybody is using it to do business. If we don't participate in it, we would be the ones that are out of business.
Yeah.
That's why the power of numbers is so important. And we must really press ahead with vigor and do it very quickly as a community.
Yeah. Okay. So we have 2 hands up. If they have 1 question each, then maybe we can take them. But if the questions are extensive, then we'll move them to tomorrow. We should have ended already. So maybe let's just ask 1 question from each of them. Musa.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
I work. So just my question is about the change of names on the SWIFIN account. Okay. I think since I already raised a ticket since last year to my brothers, his national ID card contains 3 names, but his SWIFIN ID have two names. That is why I write the ticket. I say I want you to change that name instead to.
Okay, so I want us to move quite quickly. So what you need is for a change of name for your brother.
Or add the middle names. The SWIFIN account have 2 names, but the Transact and Connect have 3 names according to.
Can I suggest something? Can I suggest something, Musa?
Okay, sir, I'm with you.
Okay, so tomorrow, when you log on to the meeting, please signal on the chat that you are in the meeting. Then one of the leaders will chat with you while the meeting is going on and help you to resolve that issue.
Okay. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Brother
Thank
Vincent.
you, Musami, Nigeria.
Good evening, everyone in the house.
Good evening. Good evening. One question quickly. We are completely out of time.
My question is a simple question. I didn't know whether this challenge is only from my end. It happened that I'm trying to upgrade account of some SWIFIN member these days, but I'm finding it difficult. It's always report error in processing, and it have taken almost 1 week now. The same issue, the same error in processing. I don't know whether it's from my end.
So what?
Okay, let me comment on that one very quickly. We had another member of the community who had that problem, and that was Sister Pamela. We stayed behind and watched her. When that happens, just try again. What I need to do is warn the community that between the 23rd and the 28th, the system is so busy paying out the stimulus payments. Okay, so just do the maths yourself. Every stimulus payment that is made, we pay out a further T1, T2, T3, T4, T5. So for every stimulus payment, there are 5 other transactions which have to be executed, minimum. In fact, there are more than that. I'm not going to go into details about those. But if you think that there are if you just use the 6, and you think that there are about, say, 2 million people or over 2 million, then you need to multiply that by 6. So that is 12 million transactions that are taking place between the 23rd and the 28th. Now, at that time, quite frankly, the system is very busy. So if you try and you might try and do something at a particular point and submit a request, and the request will get timed out. If it gets timed out, then you'll say system error, and you might not get more than that. But please, when you see that, just try again. Take a break and try again. Now, I don't expect that problem outside that window, okay? Outside that window, it should be fine. So try that today, and you would find it will be plain sailing, because it's sitting there with a lot of processing capacity and not a lot is happening. Whereas last week, between the 23rd and the 28th, it was churning out quite a lot of transactions and sending out a lot of messages at the same time. I'm sure many members here would testify. If they check their accounts, you would have received a string of payments and a string of communication telling you that those payments have been made. Okay?
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
We're out of time. Thank you guys all so much, and it's been an engaging evening. And I hope that what we have shared.
Brother MB, sorry to disturb you. I'm just getting a message here because Sister Pamela was one of the ones who actually experienced this for quite some time. And as you can aware, Dr. Linus and I worked with her for a time. She's trying to say something, but Sister Pamela, I don't really understand what you're trying to say. So if you can briefly come and edify Brother Vincent, what you say, yes, if you could just be brief and go through what you're trying to say, because I'm not too sure what you're trying to say here.
I understand. What I've noticed is that if the email is not connected, email that has been used with the ID, the government ID, it doesn't go through because I was trying someone else. And it's happened on more than one occasion. And I asked them to give me a different ID, a different email, and then it went. And I've tried a few people, and that's what happened. One of them I can't register because the email is a problem. The email is not synchronizing with the national ID.
So hopefully that helps you, Brother Vincent. Thank you, Sister Pamela.
All right. So let's just keep watching and looking at it, making sure that any of these occurrences you inform us on the on the daily briefing. It gives us also the chance to go back and check and see that everything that we have in place is performing in the way in which we anticipate that it would perform. So,
Brother B, just one quick announcement.
Yeah.
Brother Bantu, are you on the line?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Just to confirm, your order was received, it's been processed, and you would have received a link to the spreadsheet, which you now have to populate with the names that you want to allocate
Okay.
the 10 mailboxes to, okay?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So please check that you have access to that spreadsheet. It would look exactly as Brother B illustrated earlier during the presentation. Just complete it with the SWIFIN ID, the first name, the last name.
And date of birth. And date of birth.
And date of birth.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, sure.
Good.
All
Right.
right.
Thank you very much.
Most welcome.
Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
So
thank you too.
So thank you guys so much, and thank everyone for their participation this evening. We look forward to another engaging session tomorrow, and we keep edifying and improving and upgrading the systems and the processes and the procedures to make sure that access does not become restrictive. It becomes a thing for everyone. Thank you all so much, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Dr. Linus?
May I say something before Dr. Linus concludes, because he can finish off, which is right. Everyone that is here, because I noticed some new names here. Those who have a Connect account, please can you just go in and check that your profile picture has been updated. Some of you are still not aware that your profile picture was not brought across to the new platform. So please go in and update your profiles on the new SWIFIN platform. Thank you. Sorry about Dr. Linus, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that announcement, Sister Pauline. And Brother B, thank you. And I thank all the leaders in the house and all the participants this evening. I always remind ourselves, that we gather and continue to gather to address two key problems: that of exclusion, which affects 1.7 billion people around the world, and in continental Africa, up to 91% of people in some countries. We have listened to the challenges people are having in Nigeria and other parts of the country, other parts of Africa, in actually having access to an instrument to execute a simple payment. In the new digital age, that amounts to exclusion. That's what we are gathered to address as a community. And that once we deliver the kind of access that everybody needs, we then want to be able to use a single instrument for exchanging value in real time, wherever people are. And that's where our Lumi comes in. And Transact is the really revolutionary instrument that then allows us to use our common instrument of exchanging value with complete local currency experience wherever we are. So let's get people on there in their masses, and let's get the community expanded as swiftly as we can, so that we can start transacting with each other, doing business with each other, and onboarding other businesses and as we go along. As you know, the journey has just begun. Kingdoms have started coming on board. There's a lot of excitement in South Africa right now. And I can say, and as I said yesterday, some municipal workers are going to be receiving their salaries top in Lumi. Now that's amazing. Let's keep going. On that note, have a wonderful evening, wonderful day, wonderful night, wherever you are. And we meet again tomorrow. God bless you.
Good night. Good night, everyone.
Good night.